Test, test. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Looks like we're not lagging. Looks like the audio is working. Should be good. I'm going to turn this music down a little bit if I can. That's about as best I can do. Yo, yo, test, test. What's up, LC? All right. We get going. I'm going to try to do this one quick because I'm super interested in this debate. And but I've been out on vacation with the fam. Took a whole week off. Went to Florida. Found like 400 shark teeth. Didn't catch a thing, but got to hang out with some sea turtles as well that actually raided my shark camp. So it was actually pretty cool. And I'll probably share those stories, maybe some photos on the next stream. But let's get going. Stream is intended to be used for educational purposes only, not intended to be used as financial advice. Anything you see on here should actually, even if you were to mistake it for financial advice, you should consider this to be like god-awful financial advice. This is clearly an art show, so you got to pump your brakes. But anyway, thanks for coming here. If you guys haven't known, news update, it's been around for a little bit, but if you've ever been on the fence with Rainbow Trends, you can actually sign up now and try it out for a month for $10. So keep that in mind if you want to check it out. Also, if you're new and like have no idea why my charts look the way they do, check us out, rainbow-trends.com. You can find out all the different tools and the stuff we use, the bots, etc. Or if you want to go look up at some of our OGs, just go check out the bottom and follow them and look around. Like I said, we do this every Thursday, typically about 8 o'clock. Stream for about an hour, and then we head to the Discord and hang out there. So it's usually a good time, and a bunch of people hang out. And the Discord's where we like a lot of the alpha from the group is shared. And if you've got questions or want to hang out, open mic is open mic in the Discord. So everyone are free to welcome. And looking at the clock, oh, I'm sorry. Let me move this forward a little bit. Another announcement from the last streams. If you guys didn't know, in the Discord, you can go check it out. I now am set up with Kraken. So if you guys are interested in any of the signing up for Kraken Pro under Rainbow Trends, help support us along the way with some of the bots, tools, and dog donations and all that we do, sign up with that link if you would be so kind. It's some of the fees that would go to Kraken would actually go to Rainbow Trends and help us keep all these all this stuff going. So anyway, not going to spend too much on that one, but shout out to Kraken. They didn't reach out to me. I reached out to them. And man, back in the day, they actually onboarded Trimp and Bowden, not just in the European exchanges. They actually brought it to the North American exchanges as well, which was just absolutely shocking to me. But maybe they don't care what Gensler says anymore. And lo and behold, debate night's tonight, and we can't wait. And if you guys don't remember, Doppel and I have had a bet going that Biden would not actually ever debate Trump. And you know us, instead of spending a lot of money on Rainbow Trend video ads that go nowhere, we actually spend our money at the dog shelters and give the dogs local pounds, the dogs and cats, much needed toys, foods, blankets, etc., as well as some rainbow bandanas. So I made a clever bet with, I made a bet with Doppel. Shout out Doppel. And he's only got like 20 minutes before he can concede and apologize and say Runner was right, Doppel was wrong, and I'll let it slide. But we've got some bags of food up on donation. So one bag is about $50 for this special type of food they have to use at the thing, those red bags from Purina One. So if you ever friends with Purina One, let us know, because that'd be awesome to link up with them and help support the local dog pound. But anyway, like I said, we got 30 minutes or so before we find out if Doppel wins the bet or if I win the bet, and see who gets to donate to the pups. So anyway, what you're here for, Bitcoin, 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 right? We've got some serious updates. We've gone through ETF approvals. We've gone through halvenings. We've gone through new all-time highs. We've gone through bearish schematics. We've gone through bullish schematics. We've gone through made-up schematics. We've gone through the all-time high order blocks, which are these orange ones. We've gone through low time H4 support blocks and resistance blocks on the H4 with the red and the green here. We've gone everywhere. We've jumped the creek. We've done springs. We've done it all. This is not your stereotypical chart. And to let you guys know, we're still off the maps. We're in never been done before territory. We hit all-time high before the halving. We got the freaking ETFs approved. And then all of a sudden, Ethereum ETF got approved out of nowhere. No one saw that one coming. And today, Solana got a ETF application from VanEck. Whether or not they get it, that's a whole nother thing. But it's interesting. Regardless, since March of 2024, support has still acted like support. You see this orange or this green block here? That's our order block. Regardless of what you think the schematic is, bearish, bullish, or whatever, this is resistance until proven otherwise. This is support until proven otherwise. And so far, since March, it's been support. Have we had some deviations below it? Yes. But for the most part, we keep going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And this stuff's never going to be perfect. But this week, we slammed it. And you'll notice here, if you zoom in really, really close, that's a pink RSI print. Those are stupid rare. Very, very stupid. So I actually added to some of the positions that I had on spot on BTC and ETF. Not that this is financial advice. Based solely off that RSI. I saw that we were approaching, but the fact that we approached, and you'll notice the RSI were not nearly as hot actually when we broke through. They hit the RSI way too hot when they came into this order block, and we bounced and I bit. And comfy in spot, adding to positions at support. I don't think I'm going to lose long term. But anyway, if you also note some of my favorite things, order blocks, rainbow reversions, all that type of jazz. We actually got pink RSI. We got an RSI bottom print here, which is awesome with confluence with the runner bot bottom here. Is this the best thing ever? Is it 100% guaranteed that that's the bottom's in? No, but it's a very, very good look. We haven't touched the reversion bands, which is more Gucci, but the truth is we really want to see that. And also I really like seeing that. I call these kind of a piggyback. When you see a really violent wick, it comes up and it bounces like that. I call that the piggyback support. We actually saw it here on the top of the order block. So we've seen a drive down, and now we're seeing like support being reconfirmed. Albeit we got PC tomorrow. We got a debate tonight. Crazier things have happened. Crazier things will happen. You know, for the most part though, your king Bitcoin, it's bouncing and holding on support. It's not nuking through it. So it's a good look. Now, with that being said, you don't want to just keep knocking on support indefinitely. Eventually, the vending machine will tip over. So we don't want to just keep doing this. Eventually, you will go through. But for the most part, if we just keep ranging bam, 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 we're just going to have to hold on until it breaks free. And the longer this plays out, man, I'm still more thinking this is going to be kind of like the way we need to go, which would be up. But been wrong before, I'll be wrong again. Sometimes you just got to keep with it. You have to realize, like, we watched this range way down here forever. It looks really messy, this zoomed out, but this was the bottom of Bitcoin range. And once we broke through this last order block at like 25, we watched this for what, a year? June 2022 to March of 23. Yeah, I mean, this was a very, very long, painful time of bear market, FTX collapse, all this different stuff, multiple nukes, rinsing everything out. But we got our sign that, like, hey, we broke out of this range. We lost that order block. This was your support order block. This was your all-time high, or not your all-time. This was your resistance order block, and we busted through it. And then we've just been going ever since. And that was from 25K all the way up to 65K, right? Or 70, whatever the hell the all-time high is. 74 now, whatever. Most part, though, it's very, very different. This is not a bottom range. This is a top range, but keep ranging until it breaks. Once you break through this one or this one, I get a lot more confident. until then, I'm just going to keep buying support and glad to be wrong. But anyway, if in summary, though, that's what these markets feel like. If you watch this quick little animation. Just holding on for dear life. Keep it going. Watching the flows, watching the news. The news couldn't be any crazier at this point, to be honest with you. But anyway, with that being said, though, if you haven't noticed, we've been bleeding a lot the past 2 weeks. What I've kind of noticed is we were constantly looking to see if Barry Silbert was like fully bled out, and it looked like he was for a while, and then it started wiggling and moving back. There were some bad days. You saw some actual sells from BlackRock. We saw Fidelity dump for the most part, but I'm kind of starting to look back at, is Grayscale fully bled out? And I don't have my homemade chart, but I shout out CoinGlass. I have this one. Shout out Farside for all this data. We've been on a pretty decent streak of selling, and now we've had 2 days so far of actual positive, which we're just chopping, I guess. But the point is we're starting to also need to look at Coinbase or Grayscale again. Remember, Grayscale started with 400,000, 500. They had a lot more than what this chart shows. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, I want to zoom out. There's your ETF. Let me zoom out to today. Right here, peak was 620,000 Bitcoin is what Silbert had in the Grayscale Trust. And then the ETF was approved, and then it started dying. And the one thing that we've been watching for a long time is seeing when this thing is dead. We wanted to see officially, when is he bled out? Because eventually these numbers are going to bottom, and then they're going to start climbing. Especially with Grayscale coming up with lowering fees. Now, they haven't done it yet, but the point is we had a lot of the bleeding done. We went from 600 all the way down to kind of down here, which is around 290. And then we actually started having some positive days. But we're starting to see it bleed again. These are the past 2 weeks, May, June, past 2 months. It's still kind of creeping down. And we know this won't go to zero. We also know we can't go below zero. But somewhere here there's a floor, and we're just gonna keep watching it until we get a steady trend. For little glimpses, it looked like we might have been bottom. We had some positive days on Grayscale, but we don't have it yet. So we've got to keep watching this until it kind of turns, and it'll be kind of nice to see it when it does. And I would like to see this become a net inflower, because until then, it's still 275,000 Bitcoin that could be held over our head and dumped by them. So we gotta be chill with that. So anyway, moving on. Another thing that was interesting this week, news wise, with Bitcoin, and another thing, legit, Mt. Gox news is hitting. July 2024, trustees are actually getting their Bitcoin back and are actually going to be able to sell it. So keep that in mind. Mt. Gox is scary, scary news. It's been waved in front of our heads for almost a decade at this point. It's actually coming true. It's about, I think it's 200,000 Bitcoin. I don't remember the numbers. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It's going to be something we need to introduce to the market as and anticipated to be a sell. People that have had crypto taken away from them for this long, and then they're going to be handing it back. They're not likely to just leverage long it. They're likely to probably exit it. So we have to see how the market absorbs it. Maybe we get a little bit of a flash in July where it drops down. Maybe it just doesn't care. Does honey badger. Market keeps trekking. Up until this point, though, we've seen dumping and it's been absorbed. So as far as Bitcoin news, this is coming up. Market calendars. We don't know when in July, but people are going to start getting tons of Bitcoin back and probably be looking to dump it. If you don't follow News of Alpha, definitely follow them and set alerts. They don't do a ton of alerts, but when they do the alerts, they're very, very notable. Another thing, this is something I just don't like Gensler, so this is my Gensler and SEC rant. U.S. government charged Coinbase for operating as an unregistered securities exchange. Well, also this week, U.S. government got approval to start selling their Bitcoin that they have inside their own government wallet, and they're using Coinbase. So the government is saying Coinbase is an unregistered security exchange, and that's not approved. And at the same time, the same dudes are using the exchange. I can't stand these people. I can't stand how they operate like that, but it is what it is. We're just gonna keep making fun of this dude until he's fired and or forced to retire. And at the same time, the dude just keeps processing, saying, "Hey, spot Ether ETF approval is going smoothly," which it's approved. It's going to go live in a month or two. We'll see, likely in July. With that being said, my favorite Coinbase lawyer, second favorite Coinbase lawyer actually, Paul Grewal, actually filed a Wills notice to the SEC and notified that they're suing them. So if you actually check out his page, he actually talks about how they're pushing back on the SEC and the FDIC. So with all the lawsuits that have been hit with Coinbase, it's nice to see Coinbase turn the cheek and send one right back home. But back to that 4,000, or back to the United States crypto exchange selling Bitcoin. This was what triggered it. So Dime actually posted this back up, which was good and caught my eye. Shout out Dime. We love Dime, as well as Huck and Hugo. The U.S. government got approved to start selling their Bitcoin. I've forgotten what intervals they're allowed to do it. And it was really interesting because as soon as that got approved, you actually see my guy Skew, 52 Skew, start picking up, hey, on chain, we're starting to sniff stuff out, which was really interesting to actually see the U.S. government wallet address being posted, which is here. And I'd never looked at this before until this week, or if I haven't looked at it in a very, very long time. And I thought this was really cool, and I'll post it up in the chat. This is traced by Arkham Intelligence, so shout out Arkham. This is the United States government exchange, or not exchange, wallet, and all the assets that they have under this wallet, which totals to like $13 billion, which is just crazy. And you can actually see like their performance over time. You got to realize though, like they confiscate a lot of stuff. A lot of this is Silk Road. There's government enforcements where they raid people and people get busted and they confiscate crypto, put it in this wallet, whatever. There's a bunch of different ways they get it. It's not that they actually bought all these coins. This is stuff they've seized, right? Where is it? There we go. So you can actually follow this by chain, and it's kind of interesting to look at this stuff because I've got some questions. They have like $13 billion in Bitcoin, which, keep in mind, we're worried about the Mt. Gox dump. U.S. government starting to offload Bitcoin, and they got court approvals to do that, and they have $13 billion worth of Bitcoin to sell. So this could get nasty until this is absorbed, if they plan to dump it all. We don't know what their plan is yet, but let's take a look at this real quick because I just thought this was really cool. They have $500 million of Ethereum, almost 23 million in BNB, 2 million of Tron, Avalanche, Flare, Base. Like they have Base. Why do they have that? I don't know. Oh man, this is not looking like it looks on mobile. Here we go. I can scroll through it now. They have wrapped Bitcoin. They have BNB. They have BUSD. They have USDC DAI, wrapped ETH. Apparently they have 300,000 Uniswap, which is worth 3 million. They have a big bag of Render, Tron, Link, Ant shares. The government's holding over 7 figures worth of Ant shares. Sand, Shib. Shout out FTX. The government's holding FTT token. They have almost $1 million worth of FTT. So shout out Sam Bankman-Fried, who's rotting in jail. Metal, and the list goes on. Shout out Aave. But you can scroll down this, and it's pretty damn interesting. Like there's a bunch of shit coins on here, which is just interesting. And the other thing you have to realize too is people can figure out what this wallet is, and they can send stuff to it. So some people can say, hey, look, the government owns Ocean, and it's $70 worth of Ocean, random coins. Like you can look at the bottom here, like there's a poop token, there's a coin, like they own Hex. Do I really think they own 1400 Hex? I think someone probably sent that to them. Squid 2.0, USA coin, Pig. These are actually worthless tokens that they own. So just keep that in mind. Some people send stuff to these just so it looks like it's the same thing like that BlackRock video I did where people like send meme coins to the BlackRock wallet address. And they claim that BlackRock is buying degen on base, and it's just not the case. But anyway, LC from YouTube, how much of which baskets do they get to offload? Just the Silk Road stuff or all? I haven't really read into it. The one thing I saw was they got approval to drop off the Bitcoin, let go of Bitcoin, and then that's what we started seeing sniffed out in the exchanges. Coinbase started getting big deposits. This is it right here. This was almost 4,000 Bitcoin worth of $250 million. It says bomb meet signed. Ban meet seeing seized funds. I don't know. I'm not the expert on this stuff, but it's worth looking into. And I posted the link if you want to check out Arkham Intelligence. But speaking of fraudulent stuff, let's check in on the crew. How are they doing? I always like having updates on FTX and Alameda dudes if and when possible. And I wanted to point out that apparently Salame, who has one of my most hated persons that was part of the FTX and Alameda crime syndicate, he's actually starting to cope on Twitter and try to make himself sound like a good person, saying, hey, actual bad people are going to prison for less time than I'm going to. Tough pill to swallow. Dude, this dude ruined a lot of people's lives. He's awaiting a 7.5-year sentence. This is now in his description. Like, if you actually go read into the stuff this dude is real dirty. The prosecutors themselves weren't actually asking for 7.5 years, and they gave him more than what the prosecutors were asking. So that's how bad and gnarly this dude is. So anyway, moving on to chart stuff and news. This is kind of a big one that not a lot of people were talking about. The CFTC is actually probing Jump Crypto, previously one of the sector's biggest players. I'd argue is still one of the biggest players. If you guys don't know, this is one of the biggest venture capital firms in crypto. And shout out 9K. If you go back to cryptorank.io, I'll post it in the chat. And if you're watching on Twitter, the chat stuff's pretty much only on YouTube and Twitch, so I apologize. But check out that link, and you can actually see what Jump Crypto's been in. If you know the history of Jump, the stuff they get involved with tends to absolutely full send. So look at APT, ING, SWE, TIA, SAY. A lot of the stuff went absolutely bonkers. I didn't know they were in MAV. That's actually interesting. But anyway, the reason I post this is if this gets real hot, they start rolling over. CFTC actually gets like sentences and stuff. You need to keep an eye on these type of tokens, especially like we've been watching SAY for a long time, but SAY went up to like $1. Now it's back down to like 36 cents. If Jump gets in a pinch and has to offload a bunch of stuff, it's worth watching to see if these type of coins actually start just absolutely getting mutilated. It may be time to bail. Like I said, with SAY's been a very rough ride from the all-time high. We rode it all the way up to $1.14, and we're down at 35 cents. So she has pulled back big time. The 70% and the 2.0 SAY upgrade kind of went unnoticed, but let's hope the bleeding's done. Let's hope it keeps running. But anyway, the big news though, the big news that hit this week, Van Eck filed for a spot Solana ETF trust. Now, will they get it? Is this BlackRock? Is this Fidelity? No. But market actually moved on this. Didn't see that this was coming. This wasn't priced in. And it pumped pretty hard. We actually got a reaction on Bitcoin, Ethereum. Popcat went nuts. It was pretty crazy. Now, with that being said, we'll see if this continues, but or if we get another person to file for the Solana ETF trust, it could get really interesting, especially if any of these get leeway to it being approval. I'm not really crazy of a fan of getting all these ETFs approved for all these random coins, especially considering like the volumes we've seen on some of the CME stuff, but whatever, if if they can do it, sure. I think this is going to be a much harder approval. I don't think VanEck has this one in the bag like BlackRock did with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think the odds are much lower, but it's still playing ball. Now, maybe this is going to give us the rally and the news support to get Ethereum back above the all-time high of like 260. We don't know yet, but it's good news. It's someone fighting for Solana. So we'll see. I think Solana is going to have a much harder time getting through the SEC approvals. But we'll have to see. And we saw a lot of reaction off of this, which was interesting. Particularly Popcat started real sending, and Popcat's almost back to all-time highs. And I actually brought this back up with Pepper and Doppel, and we were talking about like when we first got into Popcat, and I was like, well, I remember Doppel wouldn't stop talking about it, and Doppel normally doesn't talk about meme coins. And then I checked to see if there was confluence with Aslan, and Aslan had confluence on it. So I was like, all right, I'll bite. And we bought back like in March, but I hit Doppel back up this week. And I was like, dude, where did you originally like see the Popcat chart? And lo and behold, he referenced Mr. Chonky. If you don't know who Mr. Chonky is, you better go find out. He's one of the funniest dudes in crypto Twitter that posts some of the absolutely most wild content on Twitter. I'll just put it to you that way nicely. But behind this wacky character is actually a very high IQ computer programmer who's been in the crypto scene for a very long time. So if you can see through the chaos that is Mr. Chonky, you will find alpha in it from time to time. And this dude posted on March 3rd, Popcat, free 10x confirm, refunds guaranteed. He was posting about this at 4 cents. Popcat right now has literally 10x since this. So you think he's joking. The dude called a 10x, which is crazy. Popcat going nuts. Like, he called it from like down here. Now, there's chaos. Is it luck? Blah, blah, blah. Is it Chonky just being Chonky? I don't care. Dude called it. And Chonky's hilarious. So it's kind of cool to see him come up and see that's the reason. And then like Doppel actually took him seriously, because I take him seriously too. And there's been multiple times where I've been absolutely stuck in computer programming. I've politely requested Chonk's assistant, and he's helped me out many times. So shout out Chonk, definitely alpha there. And by God, look at this chart. This was one of the craziest weeks in crypto I've seen in a while. I've never seen alt rally while Bitcoin was just kind of falling. And we actually saw like Popcat full sending while Bitcoin was going straight down into support. This isn't the smallest low cap in the world, but it's doing work, and we're going to see. We really are. I don't know where this one's going to go. I think my dollar cost average is 12 cents. I think. I haven't looked at it in a long time, so I think I'm 4x right now, not 10x like Chonk, but it's we're gonna have to keep watching this one. This has been one of the more profitable trades that like we've been trading on the Rainbow Trend servers. So shout out to all the dudes, Aslan and Doppel, that kind of got my nose in it, because it's been paying bills. Anyway, moving on. Another thing, some quick stuff before we go try to hop up on this debate. If you didn't know, not Wells Fargo, Volkswagen, not WF, VW, actually is getting involved with Rivian. And if you haven't seen the Rivian charts that we've been posting for a very long time in the Discord, it's been pure pain for a very long time. RMF in particular has been calling like Pico bottom as well as kind of a Nexus. And if you actually read this, someone bought calls that expire this Friday for 12 cents each. They are now worth $5.30. This dude made $2 million in 5 hours. This screams insider trading, and it may be, it may not be. Who knows? This is an art stream. Shout out all Coin Psycho for calling it out what it is. But You're definitely going to get it investigated if you pull something off, like, so keep that in mind. But it's crazy to see that type of trade, because if you look, the Rivian got candled on the news from Volkswagen getting involved. So shout out bottom print on the runner bot that actually called that candle at 10.63. It actually pumped all the way up to 16 cents or $16, which is crazy, because if you're familiar with this chart at all, it's been pain for a very, very long time. All the way up from like $170 all the way down to $8. And no, this is not a shit coin. This is a automotive maker in the United States that actually has contracts with like Amazon. So keep that in mind. You guys know I'm a huge fan of their Amazon vans, and I want one so damn bad for all the wrong reasons. We were looking at this. We're like, man, is this really the bottom? If it is, it's probably the Pico bottom. But now Volkswagen's involved. Maybe. If I turn log off on this, it's going to look even dumber. Like, it's crazy, right? It's going to get real interesting, guys. It's going to get real interesting. This could pull out. And if it does, it's, we could start climbing this hill back up. Maybe Malifester will actually get his pre-ordered one. We'll see. But speaking of chaos with the markets, this was really interesting, and I wanted to bring it up. Do you remember when there was a glitch a while back and the Berkshire Hathaway stock nuked 99.9% on the charts? Like, do you guys remember this? This was like a week or two ago. I thought this was really interesting because this is a huge stock, right? In the first place, that's a huge move. This triggers a lot of algorithms. This triggers a lot of panicking and people that actually spot it live. A lot of people lost money over this, and it was a technical glitch. The stock didn't actually do this. It was the people reporting the tickers. And this week, Interactive Brokers filed a claim on the NYSE technical issue. Apparently, Interactive Brokers realized losses in the amount of $48 million over that blip. Interactive Broker says the NYSE refused to process those claims in full. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I haven't seen a brokerage kick back at like a stock exchange. So I'm actually interested to see how this is, because I actually really like Interactive Brokers and love their products. So I thought this was interesting, and a lot of people were talking about it. So I wanted to bring that up in the chat. But moving on. Another thing, Roaring Kitty has posted an update, which is a picture of a dog looking to the right, which goes instantly into people shilling altcoins of the dumbest stuff, which just makes you hate Twitter at times. But I looked at this, and my mind instantly went to Petco. And if you don't know, Petco's ticker is actually Woof. He's playing with GameStop. He's looking maybe for something else. If you haven't looked at the Petco chart, it looks nasty. It looks real bad. And I wonder, is Roaring Kitty about to wreck this chart? Back in like 2021, Petco was like $28, $25, $28. And it went all the way down to $1.60. So, is he going hard Petco? I didn't see anybody talking Petco in this. I don't think he's going to go crypto. I think he's going to stay TradeFi. I think this might be it. Petco. That's a synonymous name. People have nostalgia to it. The stock's doing god awful. And we got a whale print today on the daily. So maybe. Is it going to do a GME? I don't know, but you saw what the dude did to GameStop, right? We went from $10 to $65. That's a 6X. Let's look at Wolf. Like, he does crazy stuff. This one would be pretty crazy. Maybe he sends this thing up to $18. Does a 6X. We'll just do a Roaring Kitty target right here. 6X. I don't know. Have I done legit research into trying to figure out what the wild dude is thinking? No. it just makes sense to me for all the wrong reasons. So I'm going to post a chart about it and show what you guys, see what you guys think, if there's any other theories. To me, GameStop to Petco makes sense. Frankly, I've seen Petcos and GameStops actually sit next to each other. So anyway, but wrapping up the stream early. Like I said, I'm keeping this one short. Thanks for all the love. Thanks for showing up. I'll be back to the normal 8 o'clock. Ooh, I may be on vacation again next week. I may take the gaming computer and see if I can stream from the beach. Maybe we'll actually get some good shark fishing in that trip. But regardless, I'm going to go fire up the Discord, fire up the debate, and host the weekly roundtable. If you guys don't know, like I said, go hit us up in the Rainbow Trends Discord. Come say hi. Come hang out. Open mic. We can talk charts. We can talk gaming. We can talk Rivian theories. We've actually gone way deep into India markets as of late. It's some good stuff. So we'll see you guys there. And if you need any of the links or the information, if you're on Twitter, like I said, just check us out at Rainbow Trends. All of our links are at the top. Join the Discord at the very top there. So much love.